So you've come to the harsh reality that, yeah, it's time to write up a LinkedIn summary. I know, guys, times aren't easy right now to find a job. Competition is high and every bit counts. And that means having a powerful LinkedIn profile. So you got your profile picture, check. Got your banner, check. Headline, well, a little tricky, but check. All right, so far, so good. And then there's the About section. Guys, don't fret. I've got 6 tips for you today on how to write a powerful About section that'll get recruiters to message you instantly, so be sure to stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Brian back at you with another video where my goal is to help you create a career and life you'll be proud of. And if you want more career tips and strategies from my perspective behind company lines, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. So to the dreaded About section on LinkedIn. Now, before we dive into the tips, just a quick note on best practices, and that is, don't actually draft the About section directly on LinkedIn. Instead, write the draft on Word or Pages and just let it simmer over a couple days, revise it, and then make sure it's perfect before you actually publish it. The other thing you'll want to do is turn off the notifications on your LinkedIn profile so that your connections don't get constantly notified every time you make a change. All right, the first tip, the first 3 sentences need to really capture the attention of recruiters, hiring managers, and colleagues. And it has to make the reader want to click that more button. And to that point, it has to be enticing, energetic if possible, and most importantly, it needs to really be clear as to what you're about. And to that point, the second tip, you really need to be very, very clear on your value proposition, as well as your career trajectory. If I'm reading your profile, I need to know exactly what your specialty is. What makes you unique? What value do you bring to the company? I know a lot of you guys struggle with this, especially if you are transitioning careers or if you're just starting your career right out of college. I know it's not easy to determine your value proposition right now, but just like how every successful business has one, you also need to have a clear value proposition so that you can really target the market that you're looking for. And if you're struggling to discover your unique value proposition, don't worry, I'm here to help. Really quickly, if you're currently searching for a new job and having fairly little success, know that I offer a one-on-one career prep session, and we look at your resume, your cover letter, your interview skills, but we also dive into discovering your unique value proposition. The links are in the bio. All right, third tip, write in the first person and show some personality. You want them to like you. You want the reader to get to know you, get a sense of who you are, and the language that you're writing in should be very genuine. It should be casual, like as if you're talking to the reader, yet still maintaining professionalism. And to that point, I like it when your profile doesn't use a lot of generic terms like go-getter, solutions-driven, or process efficiencies. Here's a litmus test. If I can plug that generic sentence into someone else's profile and it reads just fine, that means your sentences are way too generic and you're really not representing you. Speaking of you, the fourth tip, and that is, don't be afraid to add something that is non-work related. Maybe it's a hobby, an interest, or a passion of yours. Maybe you're a wine connoisseur or a coffee addict. Whatever it is, something that is light, fun, and relatable, but not necessarily political or polarizing. Tip number 5, and that is keep the reading experience brief. And as a starting point, you can keep it to about 3 paragraphs, but it really doesn't matter how many paragraphs. You just really want the recruiter or the person reading to have the ability to skim your summary and know that, yes, he needs to message you. And if the paragraphs are just too long and reading about your About section just becomes a huge chore and they just get lost in all the jargon, and then they just move on to the next profile. So remember, white space is your friend. Now this leads us to tip number 6, and that is, after you've done your About section, add keywords that are specific to your career path and industry. And these could be things like acronyms or special skills, hard skills, or maybe certifications. I personally would stay away from subjective skills like hard worker or fast learner. Remember, the point of all of this is to get your profile found in search. You can see that all of this is crafted in a way so that it'll get the attention of the HR manager or the external recruiter and entice them to message you to set up that phone call. And speaking of which, if you are looking for some tips and tricks to help you in your next interview, you'll definitely want to check out the playlist here. So if you have a topic you want me to cover in a future video, hit me up in the comment section down below or go to my website 101mentoring.com and submit your topic there. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.